So we will move on now with the next presenters, and I'm very happy to introduce Günter Mühlberger, who works at the University of Innsbruck at the Department for German Language and Literature, and he leads the Digitization and Digital Preservation group. And he's also head of the Digital Humanities Centre there. And I would also like to introduce to you Maria Kallio, who works as a senior research officer at the National Archives of Finland. And she's responsible for research collaboration in digital humanities. And they're going to talk about Transkribus, handwritten text recognition in practice. Welcome.
So first of all, thank you a lot for this kind invitation. Actually, it's a long time ago that we worked with a Swedish partner in an EU project 20 years ago with the University Library Uppsala, and it's really great to be back here in Gothenburg. Actually, 25 years ago, we all witnessed coming up of the internet, of connecting people all around the world in a technological way. And nowadays, I think we are again witnessing another big technological change, and this has to do with artificial intelligence. And our work would not have been possible without this dramatic change which takes place and is, of course, not only connected with handwritten text recognition, but with many other tools and services you are using on your, in your daily work or on your mobile phone. I will give you a short introduction to the project that is based on an EU research project, then report a little bit about our achievements and some short best practice examples, and then Maria will take over and report about the way they want to use the technology in the National Archives of Finland. Yes, just some quick facts. Actually, we started to work on this issue. So I'm working on text recognition and more as a user, as you have seen that I'm working at the Department for German Language and Literature, was 10 years at the University Library, also for digitization of books and manuscripts. So text recognition is, of course, a very important issue, because if you have images, that's nice, but of course you want to search the text, you want to access digitized collections in a better way than just browsing through images. So this challenge is here since many, many years, and several projects took place. One was Transkriptorium, where the main prototype was built, and in this project the first idea of a platform came up where users should be able to take benefit from the technology and independently of what they are doing, independently of archives and libraries, so that they can use their own collections and work with the material. And this idea was the main starting point for another project which is now running, READ, recognition and enrichment of archival documents. So we got 8.2 million euro as a grant, and it runs until summer next year. We have currently about 10,000 registered users in the platform and concluded a number of memorandum of understandings with institutions all over the world. So we want to spread the idea and to involve the community. Our objective is to revolutionize access to historical documents, which is, of course, a big claim and may sound a bit, but we are convinced that the new technology really makes it possible. So the project is divided in 3 main strands. One is research in pattern recognition, machine learning, layout analysis, and so on. So that's the technical part, the basic research part. Then the service part, so that's actually the platform you will see a bit more afterwards. And very important, the network part. So the goal is also to set up a kind of culture of collaboration between the main players in the scene. So there's a consortium of 14 partners, many universities and several archives. And it is important to emphasize that what I'm reporting is really the work of many other people, researchers, archivists, people able to read handwritten or historical handwriting and so on. So this is what we formulated for our research, for our plan. The overall objective of READ is to implement a virtual research environment. So there is a focus on really developing a tool which helps researchers, historians, philologists, and where archivists, humanities scholars, computer scientists, and volunteers are collaborating. So these are, from our point of view, the main 4 groups which are playing an important role if we are talking about archival collections. So the archivists, of course, or the archives caring about the digitization, about the sustainability of the documents, and of course also of the digital documents. Then the humanities scholars, who are the real experts in the content of the archival files, and also having their research questions and projects and dealing with the content. Then computer scientists are of course necessary because of the technology, and volunteers, you all are probably are aware of what volunteers can do and how important they are, and they are forming a large part of the visitors, also in archives, family historians, and so on. And many people are actually willing to contribute. The goal is, with the ultimate goal of boosting research, innovation, development, and usage of cutting-edge technology. So the idea is, if the groups can work together, then this will have a positive impact on how research is done and how the technology is spread, and for the automated recognition, transcription, indexing, and enrichment of handwritten archival documents. I've selected 3 main achievements which we were able to reach in the last 2 years. There are, of course, the project is large and there are many research groups working on different things, so I just picked out the ones which are, from my point of view, really the highlights. So I start with layout analysis. Layout analysis is the challenge that the computer needs to understand what is actually on a page. Where is the text, where is drawing, where is noise, where is maybe text from the other side, where are the lines, where is some, where have been lines strike through, and so on. So all of you who were who are a bit experienced with archival documents know that they are non-standardized, that you can see a lot of different situations. And actually, here the main achievement took place just last year, and it's a great success story because some issues came together, and just to explain a little bit, on the one hand, we used a simplified method, so we introduced the concept of baselines, and then we were able to, because of the many partners working with us, we were able to create a really great data set covering 400 years. And data sets are extremely important for computer scientists because the better the data set, the greater the challenge, and the higher the chance that you get something which is really useful. And then there was also a competition organized in an important conference, and the success is really here. So to give you a short example, so that's a typical page. So all the red lines you see are these kind of baselines, and a line is defined by baseline. So that's there are no mistakes. The challenge is, of course, the right-hand side, as you can see, and the computer or the machine recognized it correctly. Another example, here you can see that even some more complicated layout, if we have a look to the bottom of the page, you see also that some mistakes are there. So you can see here there's a line going through, or here is something missing. But the number of errors is relatively small. Then here is a typical image coming from end users who are using a smartphone or a camera. And again, you can see that also the lines are curved. They are well represented. Then you have tables. That's also a very important kind of genre in archives. And also here there are some mistakes, but in principle, it found nearly every text. Then the layout analysis is the first step, and the prerequisite to do actually then the handwritten text recognition. And here, the main achievement is that it was implemented last year, and we are now able really to run it as a daily service. So we even give it to users so that they can train their own models. And the new developments is that the new version is at the door. So I guess until summer we will be able to improve this also significantly. How does this look like in our in the platform or in the expert tool? So you can see here the different models which have been trained by many different users. You can also see there's a German, a Latin, again a German, a Danish, an Arabic model, a Swedish model, and so on and so on. So people are actually using this. These are the parameters for the models, which is rather easy. It looks technical, but the parameters are standard parameters. And which is also interesting is the learning curve. So here you can see how the computer is learning. It's supervised learning, so it's exercising. So on the x-axis you have the number of iterations. So the computer goes through the material and tries to become better and better. It starts with an error rate of 100 and then goes down here to 8%. So 8 of 100 characters are wrong. That's from the Danish archive in Aarhus, and built, I think, on about 75,000 words. Here another example of learning curve built on 600,000 words for a historical newspaper from Austria. You can see the scan here is typical Gothic font. The scan is, I think, 15 years old and not of best quality, but the recognition rate is in that case below 1%, so one character out of 100 is erroneous. And here you see which one. So the tool also allows you to measure the success, which is a very important thing, because historians and everyone who is working with automated processes needs to know how reliable are my results. And the third achievement is called keyword spotting, and that's a new method actually to search directly in images. So it's more powerful than full text searching. And how it works, I can demonstrate you, I think, here. So the results come with a kind of confidence level. So you can decide, are you more interested in getting correct results? So here you have, if you have 10 results, then just 1 out of 10 is likely incorrect, but the problem is that you will miss, the recall is lower, so you will miss 2 hits which are probably in the collection. And as an historian or someone or a family historian who is working or looking for family names, he's of course more interested not so much in precise results, but also willing maybe to go through imprecise results and has the chance or will not miss any potential results which are in the collection. And this looks like this, and I think here you can see the difference between full text search and keyword spotting. You see here we were looking for Mitterlehner, so this is a family name, and the transcription itself, which came from the engine, is Moives Heckner, so something completely different. You never would find it with a full text search, but the image search retrieves this spot or this word exactly, and yeah. So the Transkribus platform is currently used in many digital edition projects. So that's of course the first approach people have, that they say, okay, I'm transcribing, let's say the manuscripts of an important person, e.g. here Michel Foucault. They are working with the platform, and so I can do this hopefully a bit faster with support of the handwritten text recognition. So this is one use case. The other one is that archives and libraries are using the platform or the handwritten text recognition, and they can open up their collections in a new way. So users can work with the documents. As I told you, they just need to download the documents, so they have a connection to the platform, and then they can work in a standardized search environment. They can benefit from work which have others done. So you have seen the many different models which are already there. So it will be a task of the future to make it better shareable between the users. And then they can run large amounts of documents. Again, the application programming interface, this means that the machines can talk to each other, and they can make, of course, collections available via keyword spotting. Yeah. Transkribus is an open platform, so you can take part or you can download the software as a private user, or you can try it out. You can, if you have transcription projects or digital edition projects, you might conclude a memorandum of understanding with us. And I also would like to invite you to have a look to our second Transkribus user conference in Vienna at the at the beginning of November this year in Vienna. And yeah, just to have it mentioned, we are planning also something for sustaining the platform, because that's of course one of the main challenges if you have a large project. What happens after the end of the project? So we are thinking currently to found a Societas Cooperativa Europea, or a cooperative on a European level. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, great. I think I have 8 minutes or so left, so I try to be quick. So I'm Maria Kallio, and I work for the National Archives of Finland. As you can see, it's one of the most beautiful buildings in Helsinki, and a great place to work. just a few figures about the archives. Maybe the most important ones here are that, yes, we have lots of stuff, 210 kilometers of archival records and 69 million digitized records. But the same as here in Sweden, it's only 3% of our collections. But what is the problem with the digitized records or our collections is that we do not have that much metadata about our records available. So basically, the users, our customers, even though they can do the research work at their couch or their own office now, they still have to do the same amount of work in order to find the stuff they want to find. So what we've done with READ and with Transkribus is that during these past 2 years, we've created or produced 1,500 pages of ground truth in order to train these HDR models. And we basically started from scratch. We do not have, or we didn't have, almost any existing transcriptions of our collections, except some medieval editions, but our medieval collections are not that big, so we couldn't use them. But we've managed to produce this much already. We've trained several models already. The character error rate varies from 25% to 9%, which is the best we've got so far. We worked with several collections, but we've tried to focus on like large and uniform collections that, yeah, are not that different and not that many scribes. So we have models for Second World War diaries. It's huge collections, almost 30,000 diaries. Court records, one of the biggest collections at the National Archives, and also a model for estate inventory deeds. It's not a big collection, but really interesting one. And one of the, like how we've done or produced the ground truth is one of the ways have been that we have had small-scale crowdsourcing project with target groups. And we're not talking about huge projects, but only small ones with really focused groups. So the collection of court records is one of the biggest collections at the National Archives. And we've worked only part of the collection. We've focused on 19th century court records and especially on notification records. These are transcribed already in the 19th century. The lower courts were transcribing their records for the Court of Appeal. So there are only one scribe per one volume, or if we're lucky, the one scribe has transcribed several volumes already. So not that many hands, which is really nice. Only the collection of notification records is around 800,000 images, so a huge collection. The records don't contain like any like criminal cases. These are more like guardianship or marriage settlements and things like that. But these are really used by, especially by the family historians. The current HDR model, which just finished this week, has the character rate of 9%, so the result is really good. And most of the ground truth for this model has been produced by volunteers. So this is what it looks like. The first line there, or I can read the short text. Med förstående avhandling förklarar jag mig till alla delar nöjd, samt förbinder mig även att uppfylla densamma ut till alla delar som härmed försäkras. And below you can see what the computer has read. So only like 2 M's, and förklarar, there's an A missing, and M's and N's are really difficult, so may is nej. But otherwise, the result is pretty good. And as Günter mentioned, the keyword spotting tool, it's really efficient. So even with this kind of result, we could provide the full text, of course, but the keyword spotting to our customers so they can find, for example, all the cases that are related to guardianship, so for myndighet. We just started working with poll text records, also 19th century. All the archival people know that archives are full of census records or population records, which would be really useful and interesting for also for social sciences or even medicine, or more, not just for historians. But the problem is that the data is not that easy to find or use. So Family Search has been digitizing us 1.5 million images of poll text records from the 19th century. And at the moment, we are producing Ground Truth for this, and hopefully during the READ project or during this year, we can process the whole 1.5 million pages and then provide the data to our customers, but also to researchers who want to do research about these census records. So our goal during this year is to provide also the court records in searchable and computer-readable form by the end of project, but hopefully by the end of already this year, and to enable different kind of research possibilities in our own digital archives for scholars. A wonderful thing just happened this week. Our Ministry of Education just granted us 250,000 euros for 2019 in order to carry on the project and make our collections more available or accessible online. Yay! Few words about the crowdsourcing. I know I'm running out of time, but as I mentioned, not huge projects. We've had cooperation with the Genealogical Society in Finland. Great people, very active, and they've done most of the work for our court records, for the Ground Truth, so we're really grateful for working with them. And also, we've been teaching courses in universities, last autumn in Turku, next autumn in Helsinki, and we gained around 600 pages from these courses of Ground Truth, which is amazing. Günter mentioned these edition projects. A great example is the letters of Albert Ehrenfeldt, Finnish artist. You can see one of his paintings even here in Gothenburg, next door on the sea, beautiful. You should go and see it. So the Svenska Litteratursällskapet has this amazing digital edition platform which is already available, but it contains around 400 letters out of 1,000 letters or 1,300 letters, and they have tagged keywords and digitized the letters, but they don't have the text, the full text there available. But they have now transcribed 600 pages, and they've trained several HDR models, and they're getting better. I just received a message that the latest model is quite good. So their goal is to publish all letters from Albert Ehrenfeldt by the end of this year. Yes. So, more information you can find from the Transkribus webpage, website, and please be in contact if you want to ask questions or hear more about what we're doing at the National Archives. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's fantastic. I mean, it's almost like science fiction that we
Yes.
finally can do that. What do you think? Will the machines, will they be able to do this like 100%? Will the human annotation be obsolete? Will that ever happen, do you think?
Neither human beings nor machines
Yes.
are doing ever 100%.
No, exactly.
So yes, there will always be errors, of course.
I was also thinking about the users that do the transcriptions. Are they, because I know that in some of these transcriptions projects, there are what they call super users that do most of the transcriptions. So even though you have lots of users connected to the platform, it's only a few of them who really do all of the work. Is that something that you could comment on or have any?
Well, that's our experience also from our small-scale crowdsourcing projects that we got, I think, 30 elderly people from the genealogical society, and 30 started, and I think 5 of them actually did the whole thing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll soon go on coffee break, but we could, you know, if there's someone who has one question, would like to ask a question? Yes. And we need a microphone, so.
Fantastic project, first of all, congratulations. You had a slide there with crowdsourcing, and also Cecilia here was into touching upon an issue on I'm thinking about citizen science and use power, people's power, because this is massive data, right? And is this something you have considered or in your thoughts?
Yes, actually, we are working on a simplified interface as well. So of course, people want to work with the browser and simply transcribe. So that should become possible soon, I would say. But our focus, first of all, was, of course, to have an expert tool where you have the full control on the workflow, and that works currently very well with researchers, with historians, with philologists, and of course with some very engaged volunteers. So our example is CG, a 76-year-old guy from Denmark who just did it, and then came up and said, I've transcribed with Transkribus 100 pages. Can you train a model for us? And we said, yes, of course we can, but you can do it yourself as well. So we opened up the training interface for him, and now he had the first Danish model, and the City Archive in Aarhus became more ambitious to do also something. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And now we have a coffee break, and we'll be back here at 11. Thank you. Let's see.